So welcome to today's webinar, Leveraging IoT for Real-Time Process Monitoring. This is Yi-Ting, Assistant Marketing Manager at Visit Systems. So here are some housekeeping items before we start the presentation. The webinar audio is available through your computer. Please make sure your speakers or headsets are turned on and the volume is up. To ensure the best audio quality, all attendee microphones are muted. We will have time at the end for Q&A with our presenter. So please feel free to enter questions at any time in the question section, and we will be answering them after the webinar. So finally, we kindly ask that you answer a couple of survey questions after the webinar, and we will appreciate it if you could take a few minutes to complete the webinar, complete the survey. So today we are glad to have Ren Qian, Software Engineering Manager at Amflex System, as our speaker. Ren Qian has over 12 years of experience in software development, including 5 years in developing Manufacturing Execution System, or MES. We are excited to have him with us today to share his insight. And now let's welcome Ren Qian to begin today's webinar. So Ren Qian, you can take it from here.
Hello, morning, Yi-Ting.
Hello.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So let's have this. My voice is clear. Is my voice clear? And
Yes.
not enough. Okay, right. Thank you. So nice. First of all, nice to meet you all at this morning. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, very good morning to everyone coming from all over the world. Okay, so today I would like to have this webinar to introduce about IoT and how can we automate our Minitab through the IoT integration, and then to achieve the real-time process monitoring. Okay, so first of all, today's agenda, we will go through the introduction of IoT, and then also that when we want to design, sorry, is it my, can you guys still see my screen? Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, and also what you need to consider when invest in IoT, and also the IoT application design, and also what are the hardware readiness that you need to know when you want to implement an IoT in your factory. And also I will show you the use case of Minitab integration with our using the IoT. All right. So first of all, so I believe most
sorry,
of,
yeah, can you share your slide again?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it in full screen? Hello, is it can you guys see it in full screen?
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
all good. Yeah.
All right, okay. Okay, so back to just now. Okay, so first of all, I believe many of you heard about IoT, especially when these few years that 5G is hitting, and then we are talking a lot of like smart home, smart factory, and also what we heard about IoT, data processing, data scientists. There's a lot of terms that coming in, and especially the big term is the industry 4.0, and then IoT is one of the things, the big things that in the industry 4.0. So in order to achieve IoT, there are a few key components we need to have. So the first one is the devices. So we are make use of devices such as a sensor, uh, and also a lot of meter, reading meter, and also the devices like machine. Also, we can get the reading from it, and then through the internet or 5G, we send the data to the cloud, and then we do the data processing, and in the end, we visualize it, and then we use the data to do a summary or achieve whatever purpose that we need. Example, like monitor your machine status, to monitor your electrical appliances status, and turn off, turn on the machine, and so on. So there's a lot of devices like mobiles, especially the mobile phone, the PDA that we are now using in a lot of factory. We can see that now it's booming that all these devices, the handheld devices, are being widely used in the factory to improve the mobility. This is what all those industry 4.0 bring to us. It improve the efficiency, the mobility, and also we can get all the data and summary in just one click. Okay, so this is some of the real world examples. So of course, the most famous one is smart home, and also the wearable like smartwatch, our mobile, and also a lot of glasses. And also in industry, what we are looking at is those smart factory, machine automation, machine learning, AI, big data. All these are all the IoT that we can usually see in the daylight. Okay, so what are we what are the investment that we need to consider when we want to implement IoT? So the first one is the sensors, which is the devices that we want to collect the data. So we are using the industry as example to discuss on this. Okay, so example that now you have a machine, maybe a very old machine, and then you want to read the output of certain parameter, or example, a water temperature in a machine. So for all machine that not come with any sensor or data output capability, you might need to add on the sensor. So the sensor can be very cheap. It can be very low cost to a very high budget, high cost sensor. Okay. And second thing is, do you need a cloud or servers to store the data that you read from the sensor? And then your network infra is ready. So some of the all factory that might have a LAN or normal just a common Wi-Fi router. So is that sufficient, or you need to increase example the Wi-Fi access more, or do you need to lay more LAN cable in your factory? Yeah, all these need to be considered when you design IoT. When you want to implement IoT. Okay, and then also the software and platform. So all these can be very costly, and also it can be very low cost. It depends on what is the objective that you want to achieve. Okay, and also at the same time, when you have a data and also network infra, so also you need to consider the cyber security. Do you need a firewall, or do you need a full secure network environment? Okay, and then also you need to have a staff training and also the maintenance cost. So all these need to be considered when you try to come out an IoT solution for your factory. Okay, so this is a process that when we trying to implement IoT, we need to come across. Okay, so usually I prefer that especially when I talk to my customer. So usually we will ask them what is their use case. I will ask them to define what are the objectives they try to achieve, and then from there we understand, and then we design the solution. So when after we know the use case, what are trying to achieve, then we will talking about what is the hardware readiness, is the data able to be get from the machine, get from the devices, and also what are the infrastructure that already have in your factory or in-house, and then what are the additional costs that need to be will be incurred when we implement this IoT. And then of course we need to select the software platform. Okay, so other consideration is that we might need to take into when I need to put into a checklist is that how much budget that we're willing to invest, and then what are the performance that you are looking at. So is it a real time, or okay with interval like maybe 1 hour, 2 hour delay, or 1 minute, 2 minute delay. So all this will be impact your designs of your IoT use case, so your IoT solution. Okay, and then where to get the data. This is most common issue that usually when I'm talking to my customer or the user they were facing. So they might step back when they are not able to get the data. Yeah, so data is actually the big problem in the IoT solution. So for a lot of all machine, you might need to put in sensor to get the data, or you might need to tap to the tower light, or you might need to tap to the PLC. So there's a lot of things we can do, and it can be low cost, it can be high cost. So it depends on how we're doing it. Okay. And also, do we need to buy a big software solution or build it ourselves? So of course, the cost wise, of course, to do it ourselves is always be a lower cost. Okay, so in nowadays, there's a lot of free and open source tools that we can actually find in the market or on Google, or you search, you ask a ChatGPT. So thanks for the advancement of our technology nowadays. So there's a lot of ready-made IoT tools which is open source and free, and there's no limitation to use. So okay, so this is a few open source tools that I like to use, especially when I build some internal tools in my company, especially in the production. So we have ThinkBox. I have ThinkBox Node-RED. So this is a low-code platform, allow you to drag and drop, and then do some process flow, example to get the data from machine, and then after that you massage the data into a file format or save it to the database. Okay, and then we have visualization tools like Metabase, Kibana, Grafana. So this will help you. This can help you. These tools are helping you to actually generate the data into a visualized graph like line chart, or you have a button. You have a button to show your machine is running or not running. And also, lastly, we have a data storage to store the data if it's needed. Okay, so of course, uh, there's a lot of database in the market is free, but some of it will have limitation compared to the enterprise copy. Okay, so as my personal favorite, I will prefer like PostgreSQL and also MySQL. It's totally free. If you have enough knowledge on the SQL. Okay, so when we talking about to implement a low-cost IoT solution in the factory, example, if let's say now you have a 50 machine, you want to monitor the machine status and also read one or two parameters from the machine. So do you really need a high, very, how to say, a big solution to do it? Example, like buy a full MBS. So this is depends on what is your use case. Okay, so let me. Okay, so every time when I try to come up with an IoT solution for my factory or my customer, I will ask all these questions. So what is the objective? So example, so now I have a machine, I want to monitor the status and also the meter reading and generate Minitab report. Okay, so this is, I believe, happen in all the factory. And then what is the budget that we have? So I believe most of the boss will tell you we'll use a minimum budget to achieve this use case. Okay, so of course, Chinese always say that knowledge is gold. So it will depends on how much knowledge you have, uh, how much knowledge you have if when you're trying to design an IoT solution. So if let's say you are not much knowledge in like programming, networking, and also the machine communication protocol, so definitely you might need a third party to help you you design all these things and also tell you what to do. So this will come with a cost. So if let's say you have a minimum knowledge in networking, in maybe a little bit knowledge about programming and also how to get the data from machine, then actually you can fully customize all these solutions by yourself. Okay, so from my perspective, because of I myself, I have a knowledge of networking, programming, and also I have a basic knowledge of how to get the data from the machine. So IoT design, it will be considered as not difficult for me. So I just need to know how to pick the correct tools. Okay, so once I have I know that budget is minimum, and then I have to decide what is the tools to use. Okay, so back to our use case. I have a I want to monitor the machine status, and I need to read the meter reading from the machine and then generate the Minitab report, for example. Okay, so as per my personal experience, I know that I have a knowledge of, I know how the machine send the data out. Okay, so example, so I have a machine using a TCP/IP to send the data. Okay, and then I already have a, okay, for hardware wise, I already have a router. Okay. I already have a Wi-Fi router I already have a Wi-Fi router in the factory. Okay. And then for software, I have to use open source because of I have a low budget. Okay. So I have a Wi-Fi ready.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Richard, I think you probably we are still seeing your slides instead of I think the demo you are trying to show.
Okay, sorry. Let me share the screen. Okay, is it see the Excel file now?
Yes, all good.
Yeah, okay, all right, sorry. So I repeat again. So these are some of the things that we concern when we are building an IoT solution. Okay. So again, so our objective is to monitor the machine status and read the meter reading and generate Minitab report. So the first thing we need to understand how can we get the data from the device, which is our machine. So example, so in my use case, I have a TCP/IP. My machine are using TCP/IP to send the data, so meaning that I can read the data from machine using TCP/IP. And then I have a minimum budget, and also existing in the factory, I already know that I already have a Wi-Fi router, and also the Wi-Fi is ready. And then again, we are choosing to use open source software instead of buying the software because of a minimum budget. And then the data readiness. So the data itself is not that easy to interpret from the machines. Sometimes we need to massage it before we can use it. Okay. So in this case, we will assume that the machine can provide us machine status and also reading data. Okay. In a way that
Hey, don't mind to zoom in a little bit. You try to zoom in, yeah.
Okay. Is it better? Is it better?
Yes, better now.
Okay. Okay. Okay, and then other concerns is like security or performance. So if let's say you are doing it in-house, so I believe it's not going through the public network, then security might not be a concern. So if let's say you are considering about performance, so in IoT we have uh in the all day we are actually processing everything in the server. So if in new IoT design, usually we're talking about the edge processing. So meaning that we will process the data as close to the machine before we sending the data to the server. So we'll pre-process it at the machine side or near to the machine side before we send it to the server. That's why we have a lot of IoT box, IoT devices that are available in the market right now, such as Raspberry Pi, Latte Panda, and also some of the manufacturer that actually provide IoT devices that have a lot of you can get a lot of IO promotion. So on my hand, this is on my hand, if you look at my video cam, so this is a Raspberry Pi that we can buy from the market, which is a lot. I know a lot of factory they are buying this to actually do some IoT. And also we have some kind of this is a ISM 401. 4001. This is an industrial grade IoT box, which is bigger than Raspberry Pi, and we have a lot of I/O on the board that allow you to actually add a sensor or tag the machine analog into this IoT box. Okay, yeah, and also they have RS232. So yeah, in the market, there's a lot of IoT box looks like this and also provide LAN and also Wi-Fi function. Okay, so these are all the choices we can have if let's say we need it. Okay, so for our case, usually when the cost is low, we will maybe consider get a Raspberry Pi or get a IoT, maybe a low cost IoT box. Okay, so back to our use case here. So for IoT, we need a device which is our machine, and then we need a network to transfer the data. We need a software to actually process the data. So in our use case, we are mentioned we want to generate a Minitab report. So we need a Minitab. And also we can see that our network is actually, we are using Wi-Fi network. Okay, so based on this info that we already have, right, we can actually come up something. Okay, so meaning that in our case, I need a device have a Wi-Fi capability. Okay, then I need a Minitab license, or already maybe you already have a Minitab license, and then I need to have a software, maybe IoT Bluetooth IoT platform to process the data. Okay. And I only need to generate the report. To generate the report by interval, but I don't need to store it. Okay, and then the Wi-Fi network. Okay, then my device machine data is ready. Then I probably need or non-need additional device, IoT box. Okay, so this one, the IoT box will depends on you want it to be processed as at the close to the machine or not. Okay, if no, you can actually send to a PC and then use a PC to process it. Okay, so for this IoT case, from here, we need to know how to automate all this using our IoT devices. Okay, so for the Minitab itself, actually it comes with a macro, we so-called a macro. So okay, so a lot of people might not aware that in Minitab interface we have a command line or history function in the software. So example, if let's say you are generating example a control chart, let's say moving range. Okay, so I put in C1. So I need some data. Okay, when I generate this, so I use a C1 column. Okay, so now I have this data. So actually there is a history of command line will be generated in this panel. So actually you can use this command line to run the tab again, to run the report and generate the report again. Okay, so this actually gives the Minitab the capability to automate some of the to generate the report using a command line. Okay, so back to our solution that we want. So we want to read the machine status and meter reading to generate the Minitab report. Okay, so now we will need to think about how we're going to take the data. So example, my machine allowed to transfer the data through the TCP/IP, or I have a PLC, I can take the data from OPC UA, or there's a log file transferring. So we need something to actually help to read the data and generate the data into a file that Minitab can read. Okay, so what we can do is we can go and find those IoT platform. Okay, so this is this Node-RED is one of my favorite IoT platform that can help us to actually do a lot of processes of the data. Okay, So after install the node-RED in your PC, it will look like this. So this node-RED, it can be put inside the IoT box as well. So IoT box like this one, ISM 4001, is coming with a node-RED already inside this box. Okay, so only need to key in the IP address and the port number so you can access the IoT platform inside the box. Okay, so what can this IoT box help us to do, or the IoT platform help us to do? So it can help you to do some scheduler to actually pull the data from the machine. So for example, so now I know example now I know my machine can get the data from TCP IP. So I will listen to the control. So I have a data listening on port 92 and also port 93. One second to be 93. Okay. There we can see what I get from the machine. So this is about that. Okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you can see there are something returned from here. So this is connected to my machine. Okay, this not available. Okay. So yeah, so basically this is the data I get from my machine. One is from port 92 and one is from port 93. Okay, so once we have this, we're able to get this data. So now we want to actually store it into a file. Okay, so for this IoT platform, there's a lot of things that you need to learn how to use it. Actually, you check GPT, you do some check GPT, you provide some tools how to use it. So, example, now I want to write this to a file. Okay, so example, I write this to my D drive. Machine one got CSV. So I add it to a CSV file. Okay, and deploy it. Okay, so you see, go through this, then see the file generated. Okay, yeah, here I have the machine one.csv. Let's see, something wrong. Okay, we use this machine data CFC like we had earlier. Okay, so I have this configured and then I have a machine data file. Okay, so you will see that the Minitab. Okay, I have a okay. This is the data that I have. Okay, so example now, I have all this data in this CSV file. I generate this control chart, this moving range example. Okay, C1. Okay, so now you see that there's a command generated in the Minitab, panel here. So actually every time we can, so you see the command history here, it shows that I open the file from machine data. And yeah, there are some setting which is that we don't need to know what it means. And then I generate a moving range chart with a column 5. Okay. So actually we can automate the Minitab using this command. Okay, so I'll copy here and then run it again. So you see it generate the same file. So in order to automate the Minitab and help you to produce the data through the interval, also you can use a IoT platform, then do a PowerShell command and then run the file. Okay. So you can use a PC to actually just automate this. For example, when I click this, I manually trigger it. So you see the Minitab, it will run it by itself. Okay, so you will generate the file here, and then you will see you will run it execute your macro MTB. Yeah, so okay, yeah, I missed out a step. Okay, so to automate this, you can actually store the command in a file called MTB, which is that you see just now that I run it. Okay. Then when we use a command from PowerShell calling this command, the Minitab will trigger itself and then run the result. And then you run the report and generate the result by itself. Okay, so this is a low-cost solution that we can achieve using some IoT platform and also some macro knowledge that we have using the Minitab. So in the market also, we do have a solution like this. Yeah, so this is a Visit and Mflex corporate solution. We work out with Visit to come up with this solution to actually help allow you to running everything at the background to generate the Minitab, to automate the Minitab report. Okay, so this is a web-based system that we can help you to translate all the Minitab report you need into this system, and then you can set your scheduler to actually generate all your Minitab report. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, for example, I have this FCT test report set already scheduled in the. So we have this report scheduled in the system. Yeah, so this I can show you the setting. Okay, example, you have this report with the report name, and then the report status. Okay, and then where is your machine data set? So yeah, so you need to do some massage data into which the Minitab able to read, and then we put it in somewhere, and then we tell the system where to pick up the data, and what's the schedule type, and also what is the interval. Example, this one the schedule type we put as per hour, so meaning that every hour you generate, then starting from what time you start to trigger, and also we can put in the watcher who should receive the report when something wrong, and also yeah, we have this Minitab setting. Okay, and then you can tell the Minitab, you can tell the system which column of the data you want to pick up. So for this one, we are taking 4 columns. And then what's the tolerance, lower spec, upper spec. Yeah, all these are actually at the back end make use of the Minitab macro. Okay, so this system actually help you to trigger the Minitab and also running everything in the back end, and then generate the report. And then this report are directly saved from the Minitab itself. Yeah, and then you can download it. Okay. And also you can also customize dashboard so that you can see all the report that you set and also the report generated by the Minitab at one glance. Yeah, okay, so this is two different things. So you can have your own solution with IoT platform, and also you can look for your supplier for the software solution as well. So to achieve an IoT, to implement IoT in the factory, there's a lot of choices. It can be depends on your budget and how much knowledge you have to achieve it. Yeah, so yes, that's all for me for today. So, any questions?
Thank you, Ranjan. So it is now Q&A session. So we received some questions here. How do you justify the IoT implementation? Like, why is this investment? Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first question is, how do you justify the IoT implementation? Like, what benefit does it bring? And is this investment worth it? And can you also share one actual example of IoT implemented?
Okay, so okay, let me do a calculation for you. Okay, so when we are talking about the ROI, okay, so let me use this Minitab use case for you. Okay, so how many hours your engineer will actually spend every day to generate a report for example your product quality. So let's talk about product quality. So when you spend example one manpower full time to actually you spend one hour full time to actually generate the report for you maybe every hour. So per every month you are actually spending about let's say 3,000 okay, let's say put in 3,000 for this guy. So every year every year you are actually plus all the fees, everything, you actually spend at about 36, let's talking about 40,000 for this guy. So, and this guy, he can only do maybe per day, he can only do 1 or 2 report, right? So it cannot be like 10 report, 20 report, 30 report with one manpower. So your ROI per year is that you are saving the manpower. If you have a system to automate all this, you are actually saving this manpower, which is 40,000 every year. So you can think that if you have a solution that can, one solution can cater for 4 factories, then you are saving 4 manpower. And then manpower, the one manpower you can only maybe do the manpower, there's a limitation for the manpower, but then if let's say you use automation or machine to generate a report, so you may save all this manpower and you don't need to hire this guy, or you can use this manpower to do other things. So it depends on what is the things that you want to achieve. And then we need to, usually the IoT itself, we are saving back from the manpower.
Hi,
And
Renchen.
also, yeah, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the web page that is showing the mini tabs that is showing all the online graph?
Yes, this
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Is this a license thing or Minitab integrated SPC system?
Sorry, again, sorry, pardon you.
So is this website a license, like where we have to pay like certain subscription? That how does this work? Yeah, Minitab get the data. We push the data to Minitab server, and then we have this online analytic graph. Is it?
Actually, this solution that I'm showing you is what I customize for my
Yeah.
customer. We automate this. We help the customer actually pull the data, massage the data, and then automate the report for them. So this is not for Minitab.
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe you are talking about the Minitab Connect and also Minitab real-time SPC. So that one is another that one is another solution by Minitab.
But it says as this is a Minitab integrated system, right?
Yes, I integrate with Minitab, correct.
Well, it's not a Minitab thing lah, just like a normal SharePoint, is it?
Not really a SharePoint. It's
But it's
we
a website
customize.
lah.
Yeah, it's a website, correct.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Right,
Clear now.
Okay, thank you, Renchen. Yeah.
So how does this visit like selling here? Yeah, you're selling the license to like, because we know that he's using a macro to run all this automated graph, which the current license already have it, right?
Okay, actually, Minitab itself, there's a limitation. It won't help you to massage the data. It won't
Okay.
you won't run it automatically. So you need something to help you to run automatically.
So probably allow me, sorry, Desmond from BZ. Yeah, so probably allow me to clarify the there are two components in the whole system. The first is on the Minitab part, which, like what Renjian explained to you, you can actually automate the Minitab analysis within the software itself, like using the Minitab methods. But what Renjian has developed is a system actually communicate between your database and Minitab statistical software. For me to say, you extract the data from your database or from your device by using the IoT product, then trigger the Minitab software to run the analysis on its own, then send out the output result generated by Minitab statistical software, and even it can trigger the notification when something out of spec. So those integration part with your machines and with your device, with your database are the value-added service that actually developed by Renjian and his team members.
Yeah, got it. So it's not really like a live thing. Just like as of when you need it, you just click and the graph will show you. You just select the date range that you want to view. Am I correct?
If Renjian, you want to explain further or?
Yeah, okay. Basically, it depends on what kind of solution you are looking at. Because basically, I'm working something like a software house to be frank. We can customize this if you need something like when you want to generate data, you are selecting the date range and then you publish directly from the somewhere you store the data and then we pull the data and display directly in your PC. That is possible. But then what we actually this is the solution I showed you just now is something that I developed for my customer, but they because of they are asking for something that like scheduler. So it depends on what is your use case and then how can we customize the solution for you. Yeah, because for me it's just a data when you go and put the data and when you generate the report. Of course, if you are talking about that you are keep on pulling the data from the machine and then generate the report, I can tell you this is a very heavy thing. And then you might need a very nice network infra and also a very high spec of PC. If let's say you want to do this for all the machine, example, you want to real-time monitor maybe 50 machine at the same time and then populate the SPC real time on the dashboard and keep on see the number is running. So this is something very heavy. So to be frank, you want to do this thing at real time, you need to consider using the edge programming. So this one, the cost might be more higher than the maybe we call it semi close to the real time. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
clear. Thank you.
Allow me to add some information is even to the extent of running the analysis automatically on a predetermined schedule, this is possible. So without the requirement for you to manually click any button and for example, if you want the analysis to run like 8 a.m. every morning, the system able to actually get the job done. So without any human intervention and so on. So this is something that
It's like a
done by
scheduler. It's a scheduler.
yeah, correct. You're right. The scheduler. Or if you want to run analysis on demand, based on very ad hoc basis, so this can be done as well by probably clicking a button and the analysis can be. I think there are a few other questions that we will in the check box that are really Renjian will need to address.
Thank you, Renjian and Desmond, for the sharing. So we have another question here. How Minitab integrates with hardware?
Okay, this will require some we need to do something in the middle. So you can either use the IoT platform to massage the data, or we can do a customized service in Linux or Windows platform to help you to pull the data from the machine. So this will be case to case basis. So I can't really answer because I need to know what kind of machine that you are using. So if let's say you have a old machine, then probably we need to add additional sensor to tap the data, or you have a PLC, you have a OPC UA ready, then we can use OPC UA. Yeah, so there's a lot of way we can do it. So it depends on the case. Yeah.
Okay. Another question is, can you share other IoT applications besides Minitab?
Okay, probably if let's say you guys are interested in other IoT use case that have been done, maybe we can talk about it offline. We can get my contact for visit, and we can have a opinion exchange and also experience exchange. Yeah, I think they want to do it offline because we have a limited time today. Yeah.
Okay, there's one question asking about the price range.
Yeah, I think this one also we will talk it offline. Today basically I'm here to have a awareness on IoT. So for business we'll put it offline. Right.
Yeah, so, but Ranjit, can you briefly tell us like what actually detect the price, like the number of machines or the data volume and so on?
Okay, this one will depends on your requirement. Actually we are based on the station. We are based on the station, number of station and number of reports. Yeah.
I think there's one more question about the
Yeah.
data.
Yeah, so does Minitab has a server to store the data and provide the user to access the
No,
data?
just now I just got the answer. No worries. Don't
Yeah.
need to
Okay.
repeat.
All right.
So another question is, how can IoT data be integrated into existing ERP or MES systems?
Okay, actually this part will require customization. I will say all the ERP and MES they have different API. So you must be back to what brand you are using. So if let's say like SAP, I know they have a ready-made web API. So you can use either Excel to upload, you can either call their web API to submit the data back to the ERP. And then MES, I'm not too sure because MES, some brand of MES, they have web API, but most of it they are still using file transfer. So it depends. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Renjin. Another question, is it safe to use open source software in IoT solutions?
Okay. Most of the IoT platform they are allowed you to install it on premise. Example, like just now the Blu-ray I'm using, essentially on premise. I'm not submitting the data to the public network or to the internet. Yeah, I know there's a lot of concern of data the data leak. So usually when I'm doing the IoT solution for my own factory, actually I would consider for those installed on premise instead of submit to the cloud. Unless example like the summary result, like your line output, which is not sensitivity and your boss want to see it everywhere, then anytime, anywhere, then then you might need to consider to submit those summary data to the web. So it depends. You have to choose the correct tools. Yeah.
Thank you. Another question, what happens when an IoT device goes offline?
Sorry. Sorry, just on my.
Yeah, what happens when an IoT device goes offline?
Okay. One how to say is a very cool to the production, which is that uh how how important is the IoT solution to your production line? So first question, you allow it to run offline or you don't allow it to run offline. So example, if I'm talking about the MES solution, if let's say MES solution offline, will you allow it to run? So I believe you will say no because you will lose track of all the data. So back to the IoT solution. So question, the IoT solution, IoT objective that you are trying to achieve. So are you collecting the data or you just maybe collecting the machine status, which is that you think that you can ignore even though the IoT device is offline? Yeah. So this will back to your objective. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Renjin. I think I don't see any new questions now, so no worries. If you have any question after the webinar, you can contact us. So we will end our webinar today, and thank you, Renjin, again for sharing his insights on IoT integration. Thank you, guys.
Thank you everyone. Thank you guys.
Okay, thank you.